This episode of New Jersey Living is being filmed in Nutley, New Jersey. This is one of those quiet but prime suburban locations just outside of New York City. We're in Essex County, so we're neighboring right against Bloomfield. So we're not too far from some of those central locations that we know, if you've been watching my videos anyway, some of the most high demand suburbs in the state of New Jersey. So we're talking Montclair, South Orange, Maplewood, not far from Maplewood. We're looking at Milburn and Short Hills. So Nutley is a little further eastern towards New York City. So this is no doubt a prime location. We're going to jump into what I call the Big Three very shortly. So those who have been on my channel quite frequently, you know where we're going with that. Right now, we're in front of Tangora Field. This is where the high school sports teams compete, and we're right in the midst of downtown Nutley. Aesthetically, one of the most attractive downtowns in my estimation. I'm going to pan around here just to, well, behind me is kind of the high school, so it's not much to look at on this particular side of the high school. But as I pan a little further, there is the public library. You have some municipal buildings, including fire and police, and you have the field itself, and the middle school is just across the street. So you'll be able to catch some of this in my street footage. But it is a very, very attractive downtown scene. Lovely, lovely suburb. You would find that this particular location may not come up in notoriety when people speak about Jersey in general, when you talk about suburbs, because those other locations gain most notoriety that I already mentioned. But this is a locally well-known, nice, just lovely, family-friendly, quiet kind of community. Claim to fame for the high school is Martha Stewart is a graduate. So Martha Stewart was not born here in Nutley, but family moved here when she was very, very young and lived her most of her childhood here and graduated from high school. So we're going to take a look at 4 properties today, and obviously some street footage along the way to really point out what the features and the draw. What's the big deal with Nutley, if I'm making that claim that this is one of those really nice higher demand locations to move into or to research or to visit if you are in and around New York City. So stay along with me for the ride. I'll see you at the first stop. Welcome to New Jersey Living. My name is Corey Jones, and I'm a real estate agent here in New Jersey, and my job is to bring content like this to viewers like you. So if you are interested in learning all things New Jersey, the real estate market, places to dine, iconic locations, social scenes, this is a channel that you will want to subscribe to. So with that being said, go ahead and click like, subscribe, and the notification bell. And I want to reach out and thank all of my previous followers who've been following along. Welcome back, and thank you for being a part of the family. We always try to aim to give best service to everyone who watches this channel or works with me directly. And as you can see with some of my 5-star reviews here, I've gotten very, very friendly and kind feedback from existing clients, so thank you. So here we are in Nutley, and in Nutley, I'm gonna give a little bit of a quick flash up on the monument behind me, which is a tribute to World War II veterans. Being raised in my grandparents' house, and grandfather was a World War II veteran, I can certainly appreciate the history that comes along with this and the sacrifices that were made by that generation. So this is a tribute right here, still in the downtown scene. As I pan around, right here behind me is the Vincent United Methodist Church right there. We pan around, and a lot of municipal buildings, library, high school, middle school. The field is right here behind me right there, and library directly behind the memorial here. So we are in a location that, again, is a high demand, as I mentioned before. We're going to jump directly into the Big Three. And before I jump into Big Three, just a reminder, we focus on In terms of the real estate market, everything that has sold within the past 30 days. I do get a couple comments about, hey, these are sold. What's up with that? So I do focus on what's sold because my clients that I do work with on the buy side, what they want to know most is what is selling and for how much. So as they're looking around at different properties and making comparisons and trying to get an idea of what their money will buy them, they want to know what has sold recently. What was the close price, or particularly if they lost out on a bid on a property, they want to know what did it go for. All right, sellers likewise. Sellers who are looking to sell their property want to have a good gauge of what else is selling and how it compares to their home. So for those reasons, I focus on the sold market. If you are looking for more of an interior view, just give me a call. All right, so we can make some time to get together and I can take you to see some things in a given area that you're curious about or interested in. I will make the time. All right, so with that being said, the big three, we focus on the three factors that create demand in the New Jersey real estate market, at least northern New Jersey, and that is proximity to New York City, train station, and schools. So here, proximity, we are only a few miles away from Route 3 that goes directly into the city via the Lincoln Tunnel. All right, so this takes you in, eventually merges in with a few other roads. You go into the Lincoln. So driving wise, we're talking, if there was no traffic, it'd be 25 minutes, right there at the Lincoln. So proximity, huge check. Trains, there are no local trains in Nutley. All right, so that's probably one of the reasons why Nutley may not be as familiar for those who are not from around this general area of New Jersey, because a lot of people become familiar with town names through train stations and stops. All right, so you won't see Nutley on that. So we won't get a check there. All right, and we're not on the Hudson where we have ferry service over into the city and things like that, or close enough. Even like a T-neck where I gave a little grace because of bus lines. I'm not going to be able to do that for Nutley, so won't get a check there. And school ratings, I flashed those up. School ratings, they have that A rating, so I give A+, A, and A- a check for schools if it meets any of those markers in terms of niche.com. So we have 2 out of 3, but even with 2 out of 3, it's still a solid demand here in this market. I'm currently in a situation where I have clients looking to a part of a bidding process on a property, and we are one of 16. All right, waiting for some news hopefully later today. All right, so we are going to, as I mentioned a little earlier, take a look at 4 different properties here. We're going to have plenty of road footage as well, particularly with the downtown scene, and we are going to be able to get a general feel of where you need to be in terms of your price point and your budget for a shopping experience here in Nutley. So let's go ahead and get this journey started. I'll see you at the first stop. Here we are at our first stop, 20 Cottage, and this represents what's essentially the entry level for Nutley. And I'm going to pan around the neighborhood so you'll get a look at what is surrounding. You have a very, very good blend. Medium-sized colonials, larger colonials, a cape, some more traditional colonials with the porch, the wraparound porch look, which we see right here at 20 Cottage. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. This one, I'm sorry, quick blink. Let me just verify list price. A blink and we're back. $449 was the list price. $445 was the sell price. Roughly 1 month on the market, so did not last very long. This one would have had really no recent renovations or upgrades, but gives you a quiet side street here in Nutley. Dead end street. You may not be able to see the very end of the street back this way, but it's a dead end street, quiet block. Another block over is a small park, which is another very attractive feature in Nutley. You have a lot of smaller open spaces that you'll find. Yanticaw Park is the larger one, which we were right by in the downtown scene. But there are areas where you have small brooks that flow through neighborhoods with some open green spaces walkable. And this one has a local park as well. So this represents, again, that entry level into Nutley, which from a tax standpoint, you can see it was $10,000 of tax on this property, which Nutley unfortunately does not stretch as far up to Route 3 that has all of the major commercial revenue that's generated there that runs through Clifton. But because of that, you're going to see that you do carry a little bit more of a tax burden here in Nutley compared to some of the other surrounding towns. All right, so we are now completing our first stop, off to the next stop. I'll see you there. Our second stop is here, just across the street from 38 Cathedral Ave. You can tell right away this is a busy road. This Cathedral comes, it intersects directly with Route 3, which is less than, you probably can't see it from here, but it is less than a half mile, maybe a half mile, down from where I'm standing right now. So Route 3 is a major road that cuts into basically Hudson County, then into New York City. So a lot of traffic that comes off of Route 3 and comes into Nutley is going to come on this road. So that no doubt had an impact on the length of time it took to sell 38 Cathedral here. This is a property that was about 50 days on the market. All right, so for bedroom, 3.5 bath, this had an apartment on the basement level, so the basement was finished, and the entire property was redone in 2009. So the property was renovated, redesigned, and so the level of upgrade may not have been super recent, but it had been done within the past 15 years, put it that way. Give me one quick second again, just to get the details on list price, sale price. So listed, excuse me, at $688. Sold at $655. I do apologize. I run across, do a lot of these properties, so time to time it gets a little lost in terms of the prices. So this one, certainly the road had a factor into where it ended up landing, but the overall quality in terms of your community location certainly was enough of a draw to be in the mid 600s for property that is definitely sizable. There's a detached garage here as well, but even though it's on a main street like this, still drawing mid 600. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a drive from here to the next spot. I'll see you there. We're at our third stop here at 116 George, and this is a property totally renovated 2002. So this was totally renovated sale and 2,715 square feet. So relatively large on a cul-de-sac, as you can see right here. We have a street where you're only gonna really come down here unless you made a wrong turn. It's because you live here, all right, or you're delivering mail or some other delivery. This particular one listed basically $799, sold at $800, all right, and no doubt the square footage, the cul-de-sac, and the town is fully the reason why this one had that level of a price point at 800. When you look down the block, you see there's a mix of kind of like ranch capes. There's a couple of smaller colonials, and the discussion for buyers that often look at these kind of options is, are you okay with being the top of the end on the block in terms of market value when you buy that renovated property on a block where the other properties don't necessarily mirror or match the same style as yourself. But in this case, I guarantee location had a lot to do with it, being that you were still in Nutley. We're like Cathedral, we're very much right on that edge of Clifton. So Clifton is really less than a half mile from where we are right now. And that will bring some level of convenience that you're really close to Route 3, right? So that definitely helps in terms of commuting or, just ease and convenience of shopping. All right, so got one more to take a look at. That's going to be the high end of the market. I'll see you at that property. For our last stop, we are here in the Spring Garden section of Nutley. So this is one of those highly desired premium areas in town. Behind me you see 90 Spring Garden, which was a 5-bedroom 4-bath home listed at $955, sold at $975. So it really hit that sweet spot, and I'll get into that in just a second. But just to pan around a little bit, this is a section where you're going to find a lot of pre-war homes. This is a pre-war also, built in the 1920s, but renovated totally in 2006. So you can see the lovely landscape design that you can see right here. I see some boxes out here. Some people apparently are still kind of moving in and getting settled. This property represents where you really start to see properties getting towards that $1 million mark. And the reason why I said sweet spot for $975, New Jersey has what we call the millionaire tax, which once you purchase a property at $1 million or more, there's an additional tax that you pay on that, right? So you're going to pay a 1% premium on top of that. So that's not a drop of change by any means, okay? So you're talking about at least $10,000 of a payout. So they managed to stay under $1 million to avoid the millionaire tax, and found themselves on one of the blocks with the premier properties in the neighborhood. So you're going to see, I'm just going to pan around slowly again. You're going to see some more of the neighborhood and road footage that I have. And this gives you a taste of what that price point looks like here in Nutley. You get to see what the tax number looks like also. So with all of that being said, this is Nutley. So very much a high demand, but relatively small and not as well known as some of its neighboring towns, but something worth a look if you're looking for that New Jersey suburb that gives you quality schools and nice proximity to the city. So I want to thank everyone again for joining this episode of New Jersey Living. Stay tuned for our upcoming episodes, and in the meantime, stay safe. Take care. And I will be remiss not to remind you, please do click like, subscribe, notification bell if you're not already a member, not already following. We have more great content coming your way. Thanks again. See you soon.